Hola, Stallions. Welcome to the final capítulo of Español 2. We are on capítulo 5B, página 288, página 288. Let's see if I can show that to you. Yes, right here in the corner, 288. Okay, this is all about personal injuries and needing personal medical attention. The last chapter was about natural disasters. This one's more personal. Okay, doler is the verb to be in pain, and it's a backwards verb. So it's going to behave like me gusta and me encanta. So if I have a headache, I would say me duele la cabeza. If you have a headache, you would say, and I'm going to say you, my student, you have a headache. Te duele la cabeza. If I want to ask somebody, does your back hurt? Te duele la espalda. Now, if it's plural feet, and I want to say her feet hurt her, le duelen los pies. Okay, you're going to need an IOP at the beginning. Me, te, le, les, nos. El dolor is the noun, pain. El enfermero, la enfermera, nurse. Examinar, to examine. La inyección or la inyección. Some people will do more of a j or a y. Doesn't matter. Depends on which part of the Spanish-speaking world you're from. That x, though, on the double C has to be there. Also, on words are feminine. La inyección, las inyecciones. The accent goes away when it's plural. Poner una inyección. You put an injection into somebody. You could also give, and that would be dar. Okay, if you're going to use this expression to give an injection, give a shot to somebody, you're going to need a me, te, le, les, or nos glued on to the end here, if it's being used in the infinitive, or it's going to be an ocean wave shape. Yo te pongo una inyección. I put into you a shot, or yo te doy una inyección. So it's an IOP type of requiring verb. La medicina, medicine. Las muletas, crutches. Las pastillas, pills. Las puntadas, stitches, kind of looks like points, and the little dots when you get sewn up with stitches, they make little little marks. Dar puntadas, to give stitches. Once again, you're going to use an IOP. So if I get stitches, ellos me dan puntadas. They give me stitches. That's how I would say it in Spanish. Not I get them, but rather they give them to me. Me dan puntadas. Te dan puntadas? Are they going to give you stitches right now? Okay, la radiografía is X-ray. Los rayos X is another way of saying X-rays. Los rayos X. That's another way of saying X-ray. And I was going to point out that on página 270 in your textbook, they will give you additional ways, and that los rayos X is in that también se dice box on página 270. That's part of actividad 4. Okay, so we're going to move on to taking out an X-ray. They take out an X-ray from you. And once again, a le, me, te, one of those IOPs. Me sacan, they take out an X-ray from me. Instead of I get X-rays, it's they take one out from me. Me sacan unas radiografías. They took a few X-rays. Okay, are they going to take X-rays from you? Te sacan or te van a sacar radiografías or rayos X, we can say it that way instead. La receta is a prescription, but it also means recipe, by the way. When we're cooking, it also means recipe. Recetar, then you can see the connection between these two. This is the verb to prescribe a medicine, a prescription. And this one would also need an IOP because you would prescribe something to another person. So that me, te, le, les, nos is required. Roto, rota, rotos, rotas is the adjective broken. It's going to match whatever bone is broken or whatever item is broken if we're not talking about an injury. La sala de emergencia. La sala de emergencia. We want to really pronounce this E right here. La sala de emergencia. There's no accent here, so it's not emergencia. That is not what it is. It's emergencia. The cia goes really fast. Okay, la sangre, blood. You've maybe heard of sangria, that red wine drink that's red and blood is red. Maybe that will make the connection for you. La silla de ruedas, the chair of wheels. Ruedas is wheels in any sort of a case, like on a car. Okay, la venda is a bandage, a band-aid. El yeso is a cast. El accidente, la ambulancia. The sia goes real fast again. Caerse, to fall. Now, it's a yogo verb. It's a yogo verb in the present tense. Right now, this is present tense on these first two. Me caigo mucho. I fall down a lot. Te caes mucho. Se cae. Se caen. Nos caemos. That will be the present tense. Now, we're switching to the past tense. Notice it says fell right here. We're switching to the past tense. Se cayó. He fell down. Se cayeron. They fell down. That's the three noisy vowel rule that we've already covered. Okay, chocar con, to collide with, crash with. In English, we crash into something. In Spanish, we crash with. We bump with. It also is the verb to bump. Cortarse, to cut oneself. If you cut yourself, like while you're cutting something up for dinner. If you're cutting paper, that's not reflexive, though. Okay, lastimarse, to injure oneself, to hurt oneself, to injure oneself. ¿Qué te pasó is the question. What happened to you? Let's say we want to say, what happened to her? We would say, ¿Qué le pasó? What happened to those guys, those people? ¿Qué les pasó? So that te would change into a different IOP if necessary to talk about different people. Romperse, to break, to tear, to rip as well, even though it doesn't tell you that. Torcerse kind of sounds like so sound, and torcerse, twist. That hopefully will help you. It's reflexive when you twist your own ankle. Okay, and romperse when you break your own body part. If you're going to rip a piece of paper, it's going to not be reflexive. We would just not include the se, me, te, or nos. Okay, now tropezar con is to trip with. In Spanish, we trip with an item. In English, we trip over something. It's a pesky preposition. So these parentheses, remember, are telling you that they're stem changing boot verbs in the present tense. In past tense, which we're really focusing a lot on the preterite and imperfect these days, no stem changing action for either of these guys. So in the preterite, but it is our cargar though, it would be yo tropecé con la silla. I tripped with the chair. Él tropezó con la silla. Okay, so no stem changing action in the past tenses. They're hard enough, right? Okay, let's go to the parts of the body. El codo is your elbow. El cuello is your neck. This kind of looks like a giraffe's neck. La espalda, the SP for spine. El hombro, not to be confused with el hombre, man, right? But you can think of men have big shoulders. Los hombres tienen hombros muy anchos y grandes. El hueso, bone. La muñeca, wrist. It's also a baby doll, like a little girl's baby doll. El músculo, any old muscle. La rodilla, knee. El tobillo, ankle. And those are just a few body parts. Of course, not all of them. Moverse is to move, but not to move houses, not to move residents. Okay, if you want to move houses or apartments, it's a totally different verb. That's mudarse. This is to move, like I move around a lot. I try to be active. She moves around in her seat a lot. Se mueve. Once again, stem changing in the present tense, but not in the past tense. So if I want to do something like she moved from one side of the room to the other without me noticing, ella se movió, right? I moved without him noticing, me moví. Okay, and then we go to pobrecito, pobrecita. This could also be plural if we're talking about multiple poor things, like poor people, as in like, oh, poor girl, poor guy, poor thing. Okay, que lástima, what a shame, what a bummer, what a pity. And sentirse, the reflexive verb to feel a certain way. It's a stem changer. You remember how to say, I'm sorry, lo siento. If you can remember that, that'll help you with this. So if I want to say, I feel tired at the moment, me siento cansada. I feel happy at the moment, me siento feliz. Do you feel stressed out at the moment? Te sientes estresado? right? So that's a stem changing boot verb in the present tense. Now, in the past tense, we will not stem change, except that it is a purple verb in the preterite. Did you remember that? So it would stem change slightly, ida I, not ida IE, but rather ida I in the él and ellos. Se sintió, se sintieron. Hopefully that reminds you of the preterite. He felt tired yesterday. Se sintió cansado ayer. Okay, and then we go to a preterite review, but you have a lot of pink eye practice right now. You have a lot of practice with the blue jay, and here's our pink eye blue jay, our blue jay. All this is review. You've had a lot of practice with our orange U family, so there's nothing left there to go over. This right here, the imperfect progressive tense, basically what they're trying to teach you is instead of using plain old imperfect, you could use imperfect progressive instead. So instead of saying, when I was swimming, I saw the shark. Cuando nadaba, vi el tiburón. I could do it like this instead. Cuando yo estaba nadando, vi el tiburón. So a lot of students prefer this approach because it sounds like English, when I was swimming, because you're all really good at the ing thing. So if you feel like using that instead of plain old imperfect, that is an option you have as well. Okay, Starlings, that was our last blue and white. Gracias, muchas gracias. Your turn to make your last blue and white.